Hey guys, this is super random, but I'm going to challenge myself to run every day, or at least almost every day, because I've always wanted to become stronger, have more stamina, enjoy the greenery around Singapore while I can. So yeah, let's get started from today. Today's day one.
I've always wanted to go out for a nice run, and it was about time to stop talking and get moving. I first did some workout at the gym, then started my 10K run. I am the complete opposite from an athletic person, but I wanted to challenge myself. My heart was racing, my blood was gushing. I wasn't sure if I could reach my goal, but who cares if you're not sure? I'd eventually get there, and worrying doesn't help. Besides, Singapore is a great place to get out and explore. What could possibly go wrong?
Just then.
しんどいやっぱりそれより魂が来てるんだけど右足首を痛めてしまってちょっと走るのはあんまり良くない当たり前だけどまあでも頑張ります
Well, my ankle wasn't doing great, but for every step I took, I endured the pain, and I was able to finish my first 10K run.
Yeah, it took a while because I can't really run anymore with my ankle and I had to film on the waist, but that doesn't change the fact that I did run. My body aches, but it feels good.
Whoa, let's pause right there. Besides me running in ridiculous form with my baggy bag dangling from my back, this ankle injury actually took 3 weeks to fully recover. After those 3 weeks, I also did my own rehab. This time, I paid attention to how my feet should land and how to control my heel movement. If my gym teacher saw this, he would be so disappointed because I forgot to stretch before the run. And now that I think about it, there's a million reasons why I got injured in the first run. So the lesson here is the mind and the body should be well prepared before taking on a spontaneous challenge. 2 months after that whole shenanigan, I actually got back to the 10K challenge. Honestly, I thought of quitting, but I wanted to start where I left off. From my first mistake, I practiced long distance running on the treadmill, and I also lost some weight, like 3 kilograms or so it would be less of a burden on my legs. With that being said, here's a snapshot of my second attempt. Starting from day 1 again, this time with improved form, I was able to run more comfortably. You're going to see me go back and forth the same course, but I never got bored of it. I changed my tracks a little bit every day. I got to witness pretty birds, cute dogs, and restaurant menus, which was a slight distraction, but it was fun. Yes, running became a routine I looked forward to, and after a few runs, I made a new goal: to run 100K in 3 weeks. Surprisingly, I felt more energetic and pumped. This is because the brain releases endorphins, also known as the chemicals behind runner's high. It's a short-lasting feel-good hormone that reduces anxiety and pain. Studies show that listening to music while running can block out the pain signals being sent from your brain and reduce the feeling of fatigue. Jamming to Tay-Tay and Blackpink not only elevated my mood, but it also helped me maintain a consistent pace. Of course, I didn't have the same level of excitement every run. There were days where it was raining, sometimes I was busy with finals, and other days I just didn't feel like it. But I learned how to channel my brain to stay determined. Strength means pushing yourself when you lose your motivation. Strength comes from the choices we make. Effort is a choice. No one else will do it for you, so you do it for yourself. Cheesy, I know, but I needed to train my mentality. On my final day, I ran to Gardens by the Bay. The open space and greenery was beautiful, but the glaring sun definitely burned me like a lobster. Nonetheless, I was ecstatic that I made it till the 10th day. So yes, that was my 10 days, and here's a proof of my 10-day journey. Honestly, 10K isn't a crazy distance because I wasn't running on full speed every kilometer I went. There were hills, there were weather issues, there were junctions, and it was definitely harder than running on treadmills in a fully air-conditioned room. But the whole thing was not like an extreme challenge. I hope I didn't dramatize it too much. This applies to any routine or any habit you're trying to build. Continuing was the hardest part. Even if I didn't do my best every run, at least I could say that I tried. There were some fun things I encountered. For example, I got to see otters for the first time in Singapore. I know they're like magical creatures that you might be able to see if you're super lucky along River Valley, and I actually got to witness them twice or 3 times. One time they were like huddled up The other time they were swimming in the river and they were crying so loud. It was so funny, but watching the otters and seeing the people watching them was also quite interesting. Since gyms were closed, there were many people using this opportunity to exercise outside, including kids. They're so cute, but sometimes they're just so funny. There was a family in front of me and this young boy was struggling to bike uphill. And he was like on the verge of crying. He was whining, but then the father had no mercy and he was like, no, you're gonna pedal. You're gonna keep going. But the boy was like, I don't wanna do it. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Like he's scared of going up the hill. Not even down the hill, but up the hill. And I could relate to the kid. I was like, me too. I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna do this. But you know, sometimes you just gotta push through and do whatever you can. As you could see during the montage, the scenery was absolutely breathtaking. It's not my first time going around Marina Bay Sands, obviously, but running there is a different feeling. I don't know, everything just looks even more glamorous when you run there. So yes, the National Landmark was beautiful. The city was glowing in this absolute gorgeous sunset while I was looking like a potato. I was sweating, my hair was all over the place. I looked like a complete mess. I was trying my hardest, okay? You're gonna sweat a lot in this country of humidity. One more thing that was kind of awkward was the pants that I'm wearing when I run. They're from middle school and they're teeny tiny. I had shoe bite on my right foot every run for some reason. At first it was manageable, but then it kept getting worse to the point where I had to use a band-aid every run. Turns out the surface of my shoe was ripping off slowly every day and there was this hard wire-like thing poking out from it, stabbing my foot every time I took a step, which carved my skin. So that's why I had slower runs towards the end. The lesson here is check your shoes if they're appropriate for running. If I noticed this earlier, I think it would have saved a lot of groans and time. But don't worry, I bought a new pair and everything's fine now. Moving on to the benefits of running, I think many of you know it strengthens muscles, you got those happy hormones, and your sleep quality improves. This one was so big. Here's the thing, I was not completely exhausted after the run. Yeah, I was tired, but I still had the energy to work. I also did some other workouts after the run. I wasn't like burnt out. But when I went to bed, my goodness, I slept like a baby. I pass out the moment I hit the sheets, and when I wake up, I'm fully recovered. It works like magic. On days I didn't run, I also did workouts to work different muscle groups, and even those days I felt like my body was lighter, and when I wake up I'd feel pumped to get my day started. So overall the quality of my lifestyle kind of boosted up. I think there were more positive impact that I didn't even notice, but just by running 10 times I felt like a different person. By the way, I didn't run every single day. Instead, I ran once in 2 days or sometimes 3 days when there was a weather problem or something happened, but usually once in 2 days. This is because injury from overuse is very common, and also I didn't want to bore myself out. Like I didn't want to wear myself out, if that makes sense. Besides all the fantastic benefits, I also found a new hobby. Like when I have time right now, I can go out for a run and I know where to run, how to run better, and it's great to have a new enjoyable hobby during this time that keeps you healthy and motivated during the day. For me, 5 p.m. was the best time to run in Singapore. It's not super hot, but one thing is because the sun is setting, if you run towards the sun, you have that orange blast of sunlight in your face. So you have to be careful which direction you run, but you'll figure it out as you run. Overall, I genuinely enjoyed this. I was able to get off the screen and I was also able to celebrate what my body can do. As a non-athletic person, this was super impulsive. But my point wasn't to run as fast as I can. It was to build up my stamina and to build persistence. Now I can run to the bus stop and catch the bus without huffing and puffing. That's awesome. 基本的に自分のペースで自由に走ってたので思ったほど辛くなかったです。正直今も大して速くないしすごい走るのが上手ってわけではないんですけど、続けられたことに意味があるのかなと思ってて、そこから自信にもつながるんではないでしょうか。ずっと苦手だったことを苦手のままにしないで、そこを変えようと思ってやってみたのですが、もし皆さんもランニングを始めてみたい、ランニングじゃなくてもなんか新しいことに挑戦してみたいっていう思いがあれば始めたもん勝ちなので、ぜひやってみてください。 Just one thing, you can start small and build your way up so that you don't make a stupid mistake and injure yourself like I did. フォルムとストレッチは本当に大事。最後までご視聴ありがとうございます。ではまた。バイバイ。